Welcome to the Fit Firm Coaching Podcast, the podcast where we explore different topics on fitness and wellness to help you be a better you. Now let's get started with your host, Taylor.
Welcome back to another episode of the Fit Firm Podcast. I am your host, Taylor. We've had a few really good episodes the past few weeks. I'm super excited to start recording again. I've been off for about a week and a half, but there's some topics that I want to start talking about in upcoming episodes. But this one today is relevant to where I am, and I think will provide some value to the audience. So, as you can see, I'm not in my normal studio where I typically shoot my podcasts and my content. Right now, I am in New Orleans. I am currently on the first day of my vacation. So I'll be in New Orleans for a few days, and then I'll be out at sea on a cruise to the Bahamas. So looking forward to that. But this topic's relevant to the next 9 days for me, and it's eating while you're traveling. And I've had this conversation with some clients, and they tell me, I'm going away, how can I stay on track? And we don't have to make it overly complicated. It's very simple. We stick to the basics and we go from there. So first thing I always like to tell clients is that if you're going away, that doesn't mean you have to eat everything in sight. Doesn't mean you have to eat junk, garbage, fast food. That's not the case. Stick to the basics. I don't want to eat fried foods. I want to make sure if I'm having drinks, I limit my alcohol consumption. Don't drink sugary drinks. Same thing you would do at home. You're not going to, drink 6 cans of Coca-Cola at home. The same rules apply on vacation. You can have your liberties with, some desserts, some cheat meals. That's totally fine because you do that in your daily life anyway. Your one cheat day a week where you go out, have a meal, you don't really track, don't really care what's in it. So same rules apply on vacation. Don't eat fried food, don't eat junk food. Think, is this something good that's going to go into my body? Is this going to nourish my body? If the answer is no, you probably shouldn't eat it. Also, when you're traveling, as you're leaving to go to your destination, whether that's in the car or on a plane, what I like to do when I travel is I like to pack snacks in advance. So I'll bring some plastic containers with me. I'll prep some food. If it's a long flight, I'll typically prep a meal. So I've done chicken. Probably shouldn't say this, but I've done fish too. The person next to me probably didn't like me too much. But you can do whatever you want. I mean, you could bring this through TSA, so they're not going to stop you if you have a salad, rice and a protein, pasta and a protein. They won't stop you for that. Anything liquid, however, they're going to stop you. But you can pack fruits, you can pack sandwiches, you can pack, pre-made meals. Anything you want, you can bring through TSA. So you know what's in it, and you're not buying garbage when you're at the airport. You're also saving money too, because, well, let's face it. I was at the airport yesterday and I got a salad, and it was with extra meat. It was about $17 for a normal sized salad that you'd probably get for $10. So saves you money too. When you get to your destination, especially if you're in the United States, you can search every single restaurant in the area. What I like to do before I travel is I will search where I'm going to stay at, and I'll see the restaurants in the area, especially the fast casual chains. The fast casual chains do a really good job at posting their nutritional information online. So let's take Chipotle, for example. If you go on Chipotle's website, you can pick what you're going to eat. It basically gives you a nutrition calculator. So you can calculate your macros, how many calories you're eating, grams of protein, fat, and carbs. And you can put that into your macro tracking app, whichever one you use. So you're still staying on track throughout the day and on your vacation. So I do this quite often when I travel. I look for fast casual chains that post nutritional content. Um, and then I put that information into my macro tracking app. So I stay on track no matter where I go, basically within the United States. Now, the caveat to that is, okay, well, what if I go out to a nice restaurant? Okay. That doesn't mean that you can't order items that are not going to be detrimental to your fitness progress. My go-to typically when I go out to a restaurant is I'll make sure I have a lean protein, whether that's I'll have a steak, I'll have chicken, I'll have fish. And then my sides, it depends on what they have. I'll get salads normally. If they have steamed vegetables, I'll get those. If they have like plain rice, I'll get that. And then I just make sure that with that side, if it's, overly carb dependent, I'll just make sure I don't eat all of it. But typically, some restaurants will put it's, 5 ounces of steak or, it's a 4 ounce piece of chicken. So you kind of have an idea as to, okay, a 4 ounce piece of chicken maybe, maybe is 120 calories, 25 grams of protein. So I can plug it into my app and still stay on track. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be exact, but it's a good guesstimate to still keep you on track. So that is what I like to do when we go out to a restaurant where, I typically can't track, precisely what I'm eating. But that being said, even if you go to a fast casual restaurant, you're still going to run into the same issue. I can't tell how many grams are in the scoop that someone puts into my Chipotle bowl, but it gives me a good idea. So I'm still within that range of I'm on track. I'm still counting macros. I'm not going to overeat. I'm still within my compliance for the day. The third piece of this is enjoying yourself while you're on vacation and enjoying the cuisine in the area, some desserts, whatever that may be. I typically don't drink anymore, so alcohol really isn't a factor for me. But if it's a factor for you, that's totally cool. I don't expect you to not drink when you're on vacation, especially if you want to enjoy yourself. But you can limit your alcohol consumption, 2-3 drinks at most. I would highly suggest not to do that. But if you are, limit your alcohol consumption. Remember, if you're putting alcohol into your body, it's empty calories, which is going to increase your appetite, which causes you to eat junk food. We've all had the munchies after a night of drinking, me included. So just be cognizant of that. And then when it comes to desserts, it's one dessert. I mean, it's not going to put on 17 pounds in a day. That's ridiculous. Your weight may fluctuate, from the night before to the day after, and that's totally fine. But that can just be food digesting through your system. So it's not, I gained 5 pounds overnight. That's simply not the case. Remember, if to gain a pound of fat, you have to be in a surplus of 3,500 calories a day. That is a lot of food. I think when Michael Phelps was in his prime, he was eating about 10,000 calories a day. And that's insane. I promise you, you're not eating 3,500 calories over your BMR. So let's take my BMR, for example. My BMR is about 1,400 calories. So I would have to consume almost 5,000 calories in one day to gain 1 pound of fat. That's just not going to happen. That is a lot of food for anyone. So don't feel guilty if you have a dessert. On this vacation, I plan on having desserts every night, but what I do is I prioritize my workouts. I make sure I still work out on a daily basis. I still prioritize my steps. So my husband and I will go for walks after each meal. So we're getting a lot of activity in so we can enjoy ourselves on vacation and not come back, with a couple extra pounds, which most people do, and that's okay. I mean, vacations is a time to enjoy yourself, but there's a way to do it to enjoy yourself, but also stay on track and not gain excess weight, especially if you've been in a program and you're working out and you've been losing weight. We don't want to revert that progress back just because you went on a week vacation. So, with that being said, I hope that this episode talking about going on vacation, staying on track, or not even vacation, just traveling in general, how you can stay on track. I hope it was helpful. I hope it brought you some insight, some of the tips and tricks that I've used for years. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fit Firm Coaching. Follow us on Instagram at Fit Firm Coaching. We're also on Facebook at Fit Firm Coaching. And if you're looking for some more detailed guidance, contact me today. I'll put the link in the bio and a link in the description of this video. And we'll catch you on the next episode.